Hi guys, today we will see how to configure ISP failover using static floating route and path monitoring. We can use BGP to configure ISP failover. We can use policy based routing to configure ISP failover, but here we will see how to configure it using static routing. So we have ISP1, which is our primary ISP, and we have ISP2 as our backup, which is our secondary ISP. And we have cloud router, and we are going to use IP33, 33, 33, 33 for testing purpose. And we have our PC in LAN network. Uh, how will we test is we will keep pinging the cloud router from the test PC, and we will see how the Palo Alto uninstall its route from the routing table when the ISP1 link goes down and it forwards the traffic via ISP2. Uh, so Ethernet 1 by 1 is our ISP1's interface. Ethernet 1 by 4 is our ISP2's interface. So we will have to configure two default routes for each ISP, and we'll have to use path monitoring function with the ISP1's default route, because that is the ISP which is our primary ISP. So what we basically want is if when the both links are up, we want to use ISP1 as our primary. So all the traffic should flow via ISP1. And when ISP1 link goes down, all the traffic should flow via ISP2. So we'll see how to configure that. So you can see Ethernet 1 by 1 is my primary ISP interface. Ethernet 1 by 4 is my secondary ISP interface. So we'll go on virtual router. So before that, I will show you the policies. There is not much configured. There is just one default policy which will allow traffic from every single zone to every single zone. And there are two NAT policies for uh, each ISP. This will just allow the internet traffic from LAN network to the cloud router. So we'll see how to configure the static routes with path monitoring now to have the failover. So we'll configure default route for ISP1. 0000. Interface is Ethernet 1 by 1 for ISP1. Next hop is IP address. Next hop IP is 1.1.1.2. We'll have to check this path monitoring box, and we'll have to fill the details. So we will use ISP1's IP address, and destination IP will be 33.33.33.33. And I will use 10 pin count. So what it basically does is it will keep pinging cloud router's IP address for 10 ping, and when router's IP address doesn't respond till 10 ping, then Palo Alto will mark this route as down in the routing table, and it will forward the traffic via backup ISP. The preemption is there. Preemption is by default enabled. So what preemption does is, uh, so when Palo Alto mark the ISP1's route down in its routing table, it will start forwarding the traffic via ISP2. But when ISP1 link comes back up, so what Palo Alto does is it will wait for 1 minute, and this route is available for 1 minute, then Palo Alto again will install ISP1's route in the routing table and it will remove ISP2's route from the routing table. So that is preemption. Preemption means once the ISP link comes back up, after 1 minute, the traffic will flow via ISP1 because that is our primary ISP. So now the by default time is 2 minutes. So I'll make it as 1 just to save some time. So I'll configure default route for ISP2. For ISP2, our interface is Ethernet 1x2. So one more thing is like we cannot configure two default route with the same metric. So even if we do at the time of commit, Palo Alto will not accept that and our commit will be failed. So what we'll need to do is we'll have to change the metric value. So we can change it anything other than the default because we have configured ISP1's metric as 10. So for this we can configure as 20, 30, 40, anything you want. So I'll configure it as 20 and I'll commit the changes. Before committing the changes, I will show you we do not have any response from the cloud router at the moment because there is no route to forward traffic from LAN interface to internet. And I will commit the changes now. So changes are committed and we should see the response from the cloud router. Now one thing we will see is we'll see the traced out traffic from the LAN PC for the cloud router. So yeah, we can see the ISP1 is being used at the moment, and that will also we will also verify it on the Palo Alto. Show routing forward information base, and you can see the next hop is 1.1.1.2, which is ISP1's next IP address, and we can see now the ISP1 is being used. So we'll click a bit into session. So this is LAN PC's IP address, cloud router's IP address, and we can see ISP1 is being used. NAT policy of ISP1 is being used uh, for the forwarding the traffic. And you can see the egress interface is Ethernet 1x1, which is nothing but ISP1's IP address. So what we will do is like now we will make this interface down so that Palo Alto will detect that the ISP link has gone down and it will forward the traffic via ISP2. So we'll just make the link down on the ISP1. Then we will see some request timeouts. So we should say 7 to 8 request timeouts before the response again. And once we see the response, we will see the tracer traffic, which link it is going to take. Yeah. Now we have response from the cloud router, and we can see here ISP2's ISP2 link is being used to forward the traffic from LAN to cloud router now. And that we will verify on the Palo Alto also. So if we check the routing, show routing forward information base. Now we can see the Palo Alto has uninstalled the ISP1's route from the routing table, and it has installed backup ISP's route in the routing table. So we can see now for the default route, the next hop is 2.2.2.1, which is ISP1's ISP2's next hop IP address. So we'll dig a bit into session where we will check the egress interface and the NAT policy which is being used. So yeah, you can see the NAT policy of ISP2 is being used to forward the traffic, and egress interface is Ethernet 1x4, which is ISP2's interface. So yeah, this is how the Palo Alto failover can be configured. Now what we'll do, we'll see how the preemption happens. So preemption means when the ISP1 link comes back up, Palo Alto will mark the ISP1's default route in the routing table. It will install again the route this route in the routing table, and it will remove secondary ISP's route from the routing table. So we will just make the ISP1 interface up now. And we will not see the traffic falling back over to ISP1 till 1 minute because preemption time is 1 minute. So after 1 minute, we should see the next hop, the second hop IP as 1.1.1.2, which is ISP1's IP address, because preemption time is 1 minute. So we'll have to wait until 1 minute. Now we can see the next hop as 1.1.1.2, which is ISP1's next hop IP address. And at the same time, we will verify that on the Palo Alto as well. Show routing forward information base. So now we can see for the default route, next hop IP address is 1.1.1.2, which is ISP1's IP address. So yeah, if we dig into a session, you can see the NAT policy for ISP1 is being used, and the egress interface of ISP1 is being used for forwarding the traffic. So I hope guys you have learned something out of this video, and I wish you all the best. Thanks.